Hi, my name is Brianna Flynn. I am a registered nurse. I was born and raised in Southern California. I have been married for about 3 years now and have a beautiful home and a beautiful 1-year-old golden retriever at home named Bowie. So when I was 9 months old, I was placed into foster care, and thankfully the very first home that I was placed into ended up being my forever home. It was my mom and dad and my 3 older sisters. They just decided to adopt me. By the age of 2, I was officially adopted into the family. So we had a lot of great memories growing up with my dad. We would always go to, up to the mountains. We would go play in Big Bear. I grew up singing with him. He would play piano. My mom and dad actually met in the church choir. So my dad, he was a deputy sheriff through LA County Sheriff's Department. I was 7 years old. My dad and his partner were called to a hostage situation. They believed that someone was holding a woman hostage inside a home. So my dad and his partner went to the home. They realized that they were inside. My dad had tried to kick down the door, and unfortunately the man inside had a gun. He had shot through the door a few times. My dad had turned to the side, and unfortunately the bullet, one of the bullets ended up hitting him, going basically all the way through his heart and lungs. He did not make it to the hospital that day. But the day after Thanksgiving, we were on a walk with my nephew, and all of a sudden we see a police car drive up, and they said, can you please get into the police car to my mom? So our neighbor ended up taking my nephew and I back home. Being 7 years old, I had no idea what was going on. I just wanted to go play with my nieces and nephews, and we ended up getting to the hospital. It was the most vivid day, I would say, of my childhood, and unfortunately, it's been my mom and I ever since then. She basically had to raise 4 girls all on her own. She is one of the strongest people that I know. We miss him terribly. It doesn't matter how many years go by. We will always miss him, his laughter. So I went to Cal State Fullerton. I did 4 years there. I commuted my first year, and then after that I decided, I want to have that full college experience. I want to get out there, meet friends, join clubs. My mom and I were just looking for different scholarships to kind of help me get through that college experience and to be able to do those things that I want to do. And I was just Googling one day, and I came across Kids Chance. I didn't really think much of it, in the very beginning. I was like, okay, I can apply, and we'll just see what happens. I was able to, live that full college experience. I was able to, live in an apartment across from campus. They helped me pay for my books for college. And even just emotionally, all of the people on the board, they've seen me since I was, a sophomore or freshman in college, and kind of growing up through this and being there for me. And I couldn't be more grateful for those people. Kids Chance would ask me to, come and speak at some of their events. I'm always happy to do so. They have given me so much, so I feel like the least I can do is kind of speak out about my journey, what I've been through, how Kids Chance has helped me. Looking a little bit more into Paradigm, when I was applying, I noticed that Paradigm was a sponsor for Kids Chance. And I was like, oh, that's how I knew exactly who Paradigm was. I had heard it, of course, from speaking at the events. Paradigm, is always there at their sponsor events. So that's kind of what drew me to working for Paradigm. Well, I am a field nurse case manager, meaning that I will go to injured workers' appointments, I will speak to the providers, I speak to the adjusters, employers, of course the injured worker as well. And my job is to kind of, help them get back to work as safely and, smoothly as possible. Work-life balance is amazing. My manager and everyone else in the company so far has been so helpful. Like I said, it's a very big learning curve coming from, NICU, working in the hospital, working night shift, to doing kind of like a Monday through Friday, but also a completely different specialty. So there was one time with one of my injured workers, I was speaking to him and he was talking about his child and how his child is in college and trying to put him through college. I did bring up Kids Chance and kind of spoke a little bit about my own journey and how Kids Chance helped me. So I feel like it was kind of like a full circle moment in terms of, Kids Chance had helped me in my time of need, and now I can kind of spread that information to my injured workers. There is support out there for them. They don't have to go through this all on their own. There are people out there who are, wanting to support them, whether it be financially or whether it be emotionally. These families have enough to deal with in terms of, the injured worker's injury, also the financial aspects of the injury, either not being able to work or having to work modified duty. So I feel like if they knew about Kids Chance and what they do, they could support these families like they supported my mom and I and my family, and just getting the word out about Kids Chance, being able to tell these injured workers there is help out there for you.